This is Real Estate Rookie episode 178. My name is Ashley Kerr, and I'm here with my co-host, Tony Robinson.
And welcome to the Real Estate Rookie Podcast. And if this is your first time joining us, we are the podcast that's focused on those investors at the beginning part of their journey. So if you haven't done a deal or you're still starting, this is the podcast for you because we bring you the inspiration and the information you need to get started. So Ashley Kerr, what's going on? What's new?
Well, once again, I feel like I'm going to be saying this for like 20 episodes. I'm recording from my couch. Got my knee on ice, but I also have my little youngest here. So if you see a hand or a leg or something fly into the side of the camera, if you're watching on YouTube, he is my producer today. So we had him on another episode where I think he made it, maybe halfway through before he asked if he could leave. So we'll see how long he lasts today.
Are we going to see the famous Ashley death stare?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Yeah, this was probably almost a year ago. I was on vacation with my kids, and we were in a hotel room, just one room, and I had to record. And the three kids, I put the TV on for them on mute, and they were to sit on the bed. And all of a sudden, one starts jumping from bed to bed, and I had to give the death stare, and I had to message to Tony and say, just so you know, I'm not glaring at you. My kids are behind the camera. And that was the same day that as soon as we ended recording, one of them says, "Mom, we lost a hermit crab," because he had bought hermit crabs on vacation, and one had got lost while we were out there. And luckily, we found it and put it back in his cage. But yeah,
That's
always lots of
fond
things
memory
happening behind the scenes.
yeah, fond memory. Well, yeah, no, that's cool. I'm glad you're recovering well, Ash. What's new with me? I mentioned this last time we recorded, but we're actually in the process of putting together a fund for short-term rentals. So actually, two funds I'm working on. One's going to be focused on new development, and we're pretty close to that one, like actually launching. And then the second one's going to be more so focused on acquiring existing single-family residences and converting those into short-term rentals. So, just as we think about our growth plans, I realize that's probably the best way for us to kind of continue to scale. And there's some other benefits that come along with running a fund. So yeah, if you guys that are listening, if you want to learn more, it's still super early, but just follow me on Instagram at Tony J Robinson, and I'll be sure to post some information about that there when we get to that point.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity for anybody to get into. So congratulations, Tony, on starting that.
Yeah, thanks, Ash. I appreciate it. Well, we got some good questions today. The Rookie Reply, that's what we do when we get these Saturday episodes. So if you guys want your questions featured, you guys can get active in the BiggerPockets forums, the Real Estate Rookie Facebook group, or you can slide into the DMs from me and Ashley. So today's question actually comes from my DMs. So actually let me see if I can pull this person's name. Hold on, because I want to be able to give them a proper shout out.
In the meantime, if you guys love the Real Estate Rookie podcast, we would appreciate it if you would go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review and tell us why the podcast has helped you, motivated, or influenced you to become a real estate investor. We love reading through those. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that's the end of our commercial break. Back to Tony.
All right, so I found her name. So today's question comes from Jessica, and hopefully I get this last name right, Veristegwe. So Jessica Veristegwe. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Jessica. But Jessica's question is, I've been watching the content you and Sarah, my wife, have been posting on YouTube, and you guys are an inspiration. I'm looking into following in your footsteps, but I had a question about debt. You seem to be doing really well with all those properties, but how much debt have you accumulated? I've watched the videos with your revenue, and it's impressive, but carrying a lot of debt scares me. Any advice? So Jessica, I think my first question would be, why does debt scare you? And the way that I look at it is that debt is one of the big advantages of investing in real estate in comparison to other potential asset classes. Like, most people can't go out and get a loan to say, hey, I want to buy 10,000 shares of Tesla. right? Like most banks aren't going to lend you money to go out and buy Tesla stock. Or if you say, hey, I've got this really cool idea for this hot new startup, you can't necessarily walk into the local credit union and then they're going to give you a loan of $500,000 for your new hot startup idea. Real estate is one of the few asset classes where, if the numbers make sense, you are able to leverage debt in a smart way to buy a property that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to. So I've always looked at debt as a tool, especially good debt. Right now, I'm not talking about racking up credit card debt, but when we talk about the debt that I'm using to purchase these properties, it's debt that gives me a good return. That's my first thought. I don't know, Ash. What are your thoughts on that piece?
Yeah, I agree that debt is definitely a tool, and I have struggled with the same thing. So I paid off all of my personal debt using the Dave Ramsey method, and so I think that for me, it's that other people is paying that debt. So my rental properties, other people are paying those mortgage payments for me. That's not something that's coming out of my income and that I'm not responsible for. So I like to keep my payments very minimal. I mean, I can't even tell you the last time I actually had a car payment. I've paid off our farm equipment, all of those payments that were put on, myself personally. I got rid of those. So I like to not have that personal debt. But as far as rental properties, like Tony said, it's such a huge advantage to be able to go out and get a mortgage on these properties. And then look at what's the worst case scenario if you actually can't pay the mortgage. You get foreclosed on. The bank takes the property back, and you're back to where you started. You're back to where you started. So, and plus in New York, at least, it takes forever for foreclosure to go through. So you have some time to kind of figure out a plan B. So I think that do more research on exactly what debt is and how it works. What are the exit strategies if you do get into trouble with having lots of debt? I definitely don't think over leverage yourself. So maybe you set a minimum requirement like, okay, every property, I'm never going to leverage myself 75% or 80% more of what the property's value is. So set those limitations for yourself so that if you do have to do a quick sale to get out of some debt on the property, that you have some wiggle room. Oh, there's the first foot for anyone who's watching on YouTube. You have some wiggle room to kind of sell that property even if you break even on it.
Yeah. And if you think about like the big players in real estate, they all, sorry, I'm laughing right now because I'm seeing that foot creeping into the video.
He's smiling, he's smirking over here. He knows exactly what he's doing.
But like if you think about the big players in real estate, they're all using debt as well, right? Like Sam Zell, who's a multi-billion-dollar guy. I can't remember his name, but the guy that owns the Irvine company, right? Like all these people that have amassed these huge fortunes in real estate, they're all doing it with debt as well. So, Jessica, I understand that there's a certain fear associated with taking on debt, but I think if you're underwriting the properties, you're analyzing them conservatively, and you're able to get a good return on that investment, then there's no reason not to move forward.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, I think we answered that one. Anything else to add?
No, I don't think so. I think that's everything. Jessica, sorry if I butchered your last name. Just shoot me a DM afterwards and like give me the phonetic spelling. So maybe that's like just, rule of thumb. If you guys are going to DM us and you've got maybe a harder to pronounce last name, give us like the phonetic spelling. That way when we get in front of the rookie audience, we're not butchering what your name is.
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me because if I don't know how to say it, I just make Tony say it. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for this week's Rookie Reply. Remington, do you want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment below with what you think leveraging debt has to do with you personally. Are you against it? Are you for it? Do you feel comfortable with it? And what are your tips for overcoming that fear of taking on debt? I'm Ashley at Wealth from Rentals. He's Tony at Tony J. Robinson, and we will be back on Wednesday with a guest.